What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Race 5 Smokehouse and Grill, and today we are taking this brisket and we are cooking it overnight on the pellet grill. Gonna see how this comes out. Been wanting to try this for a while. Let's go. So we got this brisket. First thing we gotta do, let's trim her up so we can get it ready to put onto that pellet grill. And what I'm gonna do a little bit different than most of my cooks is I usually do fat side up, but I do notice on this pellet grill that there's a hot spot right on that bottom there since the heat is coming from the bottom. Want to keep that meat safe, so we're gonna do fat side down this time. So that's how we're gonna prep this brisket. Start by taking this large hunk of fat off here. Again, we're not doing anything fancy, just a backyard trim, making it aerodynamic, making sure it fits fine. Getting rid of these dangly edges that are really thin and aren't going to cook well. See what we're looking so far? Round this up a little bit here. We have this big hunk of fat we're going to start attacking here. And now this is nice and cold. This has been in the fridge all day. Makes it a little bit easier to manage. Let's flip it over real quick. Still got a lot of that big fat on here. Let's get that out of there. This here is called the Mohawk. Usually I like keeping this on, but I could tell from here, this fat to meat ratio, it's not that great. So I'm gonna take a lot of this off right now, just so I could have a more uniform brisket and a cleaner cook. And I do keep all my trimmings for burgers, sausages, whatnot, so this is not gonna go to waste. Just kind of scoring around here. Again, let's go after this Mohawk here. A lot of hard fat in here. See, it looks like a lot of meat was coming off, but really this is a lot of fat here. A little bit more of a shave to round off there. Now we got this fat side looking pretty much how I want it. It's looking really, really nice. Flip this over, trying to decide if I really want to attack this stuff. This is going to be the presentation side now, which normally it's the fat side, so I am going to just pull some of this danglers off here, just to clean it up some. So we got this all trimmed up. I'm really liking the way it's looking. Next step, let's get this seasoned up. We're doing a typical basic brisket rub with this. We're gonna do salt, pepper, and some Lowry seasoned salt at the end with a mustard binder. And since it's gonna be fat side down, we're gonna start with the fat side up. So when we flip it over, presentation side will be right on top. Let's hit this with a little mustard. Now you're not gonna taste the mustard, but it does help hold on. I wasn't a real big mustard binder fan in the beginning, but the results have always been good when I did it, so why would I stop? Gonna start with some kosher salt. We're just gonna go right over the top with it. Hit the sides. If you miss the sides on this go around, that's all right, because when we flip it, we'll have another opportunity to get those all covered. We got some coarse black pepper. Then a dusting of Lowry's seasoned salt. We've got the fat side nice and seasoned. Let's flip her over, season the other side. Mustard. Kosher salt. Coarse black pepper. Lowry seasoned salt. I like to check around real quick, just give a couple dabs on the cutting board here. Any spots you might have missed, cover them up right now. All right, this brisket is looking great. It's right about 4:30, so we're gonna let this sit for a few hours. I'm gonna fire up the pellet grill around 7:30, 8 o'clock at night and get her on. So we'll be back when it's time to get the pellet grill fired up and get the brisket on. We're right about 7 o'clock. We have the pellet grill up to 200. I'm gonna run it at 200 degrees for the first couple hours. Again, it's 7 p.m. right now. I'm planning to go to bed between 10 and 11. Gonna come out here, do a final check and crank it up to 225. So we're gonna get a few hours at 200, try to get some smoke flavor really put onto this brisket, and then crank it up to 225 so we can have a nice overnight low and slow cook. We have the hopper filled up with the Meat Church Traeger pellets. Hopefully we don't have to add any overnight, but again, in that couple hour check right before bed, I'm gonna check to make sure we have enough pellets to go the rest of the night. Let's go get the brisket on. I do have a little tray that I'm gonna use for the fat that I'm gonna make some beef tallow with. Now on this particular grill, I know the hot spot's over here, so this is gonna cook up nice, really melt down, render this beef fat into tallow. And we're gonna put fat side down towards the exhaust. Again, this is the cooler side of this grill, a little bit hotter. This is the fatter point side, so this can take the heat a little bit better. Fat side down. We're gonna see how this does. Let's close her up. And that's it. We're gonna come back in about three and a half hours at 200 degrees just to see where we're at. Make sure that those pellets are full. And then in the morning, we're gonna get up and check it. We'll be back in a few hours when it's time to make sure that those pellets are all good for the night. It's about 9:45 at night. Let's go check that hopper, get it filled up for the night, take a quick look at the brisket, see what temps we're at. Let's go fill up this hopper real quick. So there's a small amount gone, so we'll go ahead and top her off. Grill's still cruising along right about 199, 200, perfect. We've got our tallow rendering down, that's looking good. Brisket has some nice color developing on it. We're gonna close this down, it's looking good. Go over here, I'm gonna reset this up to 215 for the night. That's it, hopper's filled up, temps brought up to 215. We're gonna let this cruise all night. When we get up in the morning, I'm gonna get up probably about 6 a.m. and see where we're at, see if I need to wrap it, see if I burnt it, see, I don't know, I've never done this before. We're gonna come check in on this in the morning. I'm gonna go hit the bed because my gummy just kicked in. We'll see y'all in the morning. All right, it's 6:30 in the morning. Let's go see how this brisket is looking. I haven't touched it since I went to bed last night. One thing I did before I did go to bed though, is I remembered that I'm doing fat side down. Normally I do fat side up. So I did spritz this with a little bit of water just to try to keep that surface from drying out a little bit. Let's go see how that pellet hopper's looking. Let's go see how that brisket's looking. Maybe it's time to wrap. We're gonna check some internal temps too. I used some pellets, still a decent amount in there, so make sure that doesn't get clogged up, but we're still only a third used on here, so this will keep going. Let's go check out that brisket. Brisket's coming along really, really nice. Let's take some internal temps. Oh, 194, 194, 195. So this is reading right, 190, 194 across the board here, nice and even, which is perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up in some butcher paper and push it through. Get a little tallow across this as well. And since it's wrapped up, I'm gonna go ahead and pick this up to 250. Wrapped up, back on the grill. Gonna let this ride out till it hits about 203 to 210, somewhere in that range. We're gonna come back and hit it with the instant read thermometer, test for probe tenderness. And once it's probe tender all the way across and nice and tender, we're gonna pull it off and let it rest before we slice. We'll be back, show you all those things. Our temperature probes are alerting us that this is hitting about 203, 204. Time to go probe this for tenderness. Let's go check it out. Oh yeah. I could already tell just by touch it feels great. Oh yeah, right through. No resistance at all. No resistance at all. I'm gonna pull it off, let it sit on this tray out for an hour or so, let it come down a little bit in temperature to maybe 160, and then we're gonna throw it in the warming oven. But I can tell you right now, just by feeling this, picking it off the grill, this thing is tender and juicy. Can't wait to dive into it later. So it's about 7:45 right now, so that went a little bit over an hour extra after the wrap. Got it up to about 205 internal. Super probe tender. That's it. That was an easy brisket cook. Now we got to do the important part and let it rest. Now at this point, if you had a cooler, you'd want to wrap it up, go to work, come home, slice it up later. But we have the warming oven, so I'm going to let it come down a little bit, maybe another hour or so. We'll be back when it's time to slice and taste this overnight brisket. This was a simple, easy cook. Let's see how we did. Alrighty, the time has come to get into this. We took it off the smoker, let it rest till it got to an internal temperature about 155. Make sure we stopped any of that residual cooking before we put it into the warming oven. If you don't have a warming oven and you're just going to use the cooler, make sure you let that temperature stop climbing with that residual cooking before you put it in that cooler so you don't dry it out. This has been in the warming oven, held at about 145 for about 8 hours. If you haven't seen the video that I've done on this warming oven, check it out here, and I'll leave it in the description below. But now it's time to get into this, and it's feeling great. Let's check it out. You can already tell this is going to be great just by the feel of it. It's super tender feeling. Go slow taking it off that paper. That fat likes to stick a little bit, but this is super soft. I can feel it in my hands. All that juice. Now, I don't mess a lot with the pellet cooker. When I use it, it's great. I just typically don't mess with it. This looks amazing, and I'm excited to get into it. See that jiggle, how it's bouncing? You know that is money. So like always, I'm gonna cut it right down the middle here. Just see how we did. Woo, like butter. Get a good look here. So we're gonna take a slice off of this lean, see how we did. And again, this was fat side down. It's a little different than I'm used to. This looks great. Tender, try a bite. Oh yeah. This is awesome. Wow. That fat that rendered on the bottom was so pillowy and delicious. Oh my goodness, that was good. Now let's see, let's take a slice off the fatty end here. Again, perfect. Like a hot knife through butter. Cut a couple slices, see what that looks like. You could see all those juices in there still. I'm not gonna lie, this brisket came out awesome. See if you can notice this great smoke ring we have around here. I'm super happy with this brisket. Overnight brisket, did not lose any sleep, cooked for about 11, 12 hours. And then we rested it for 7, 8 hours. And that's all that was to it. If you like what we did there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, follow us on social media, and we will talk to you all soon. Thanks everybody, take care, peace.